In this lesson, you learn how to use subqueries to answer questions. In Oracle, you can create a query within a query, which is called a subquery, and the results of this subquery are then passed on to the main query. Consider a situation where you want to see all the employees who earn higher salaries than the average salary in the company. In this case, you need to first of all write a query that returns the average salary of all employees in the company, and then you pass those results into a main query to select exactly the people who earn salaries that are higher than that average figure. So a typical statement would be something like, select the last name, salary, from employees, where the salary is greater than the average salary of the company. The first section of this query is perfectly straightforward. It just says select the name and last name from employees table. But the where clause gives us the reason to calculate an average salary because we need a value to compare each individual salary to. So we need to write a statement that returns the average salary, which would simply be select average salary from employees. And that gives us a value, in this case 6461.83. So you could run this query first, then manually hard-code the value of this query into the main query to see all employees who earn salaries higher than this average value. And this will give you a list of all those employees. However, this is bad practice because this means that each time there's a change in salaries within the company, you must go and obtain the average salary again and re-enter it manually into the main query. This is where the subquery comes in really handy. By adding the clause that returns the average salary as a subquery within the main query, we make it easy to dynamically obtain the value of the average salaries as follows. And this would give us the same results as before. By using this subquery, we don't have to bother about changes in salaries because whatever happens, our subquery will always obtain the current average salary from the database. So let's turn over to SQL Developer and run this example and you see exactly how it performs. Over here in SQL Developer, I have 3 queries. The first query is a simple query that returns the average salary of the company, and that value is 6461.83 as we saw before. Then, we mentioned that you could key in this value manually into a statement that returns all employees who earn salaries greater than that value. And if you run that, it's going to give you a list of employees following that criterion. However, we said this is largely inflexible and it's really bad practice because each time we change salaries, the average value is going to change. It will always obtain the most up-to-date value from the database dynamically. So if I run this statement, it will give you exactly the same results as the previous statement, except that it's more dynamic and it's more flexible. Now that you have an understanding of what a subquery is, solve this challenge using a subquery. So the question is, using a subquery, write a statement that returns the last name and salary of each employee and also the average salary of each employee's department. And this is an example of the result. So Whalen, who belongs to department 10, has a salary of 4,400 and the average salary for that department is 4,400. Hatchstein and Fay, who belong to department 20, each have different salaries, but they have the same average salary because they come from the same department. So the idea is to return a list of all employees, their departments, the salary that each of them earns individually, and then add an extra column that shows the average salary within each department. The script that I've written to accomplish this task is attached to the resources for this lesson. So try the exercise on your own and then refer to my own solution.